Clayton Larcombe joins us now from PAC Capital with his take on a few names and the thematics that he's watching as we head into 2021. Clayton, good to see you again.
You too, Nadine.
We talked a lot about esports last year.
We sure did.
I would imagine nothing big has changed.
No, pretty quiet.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, you know, especially in the tech sector in general, but, you know, as we spoke through the course of last year, esports is just getting bigger and bigger, and it's only going to go one way in 2021. We started to talk on here about the Van Eck ETF that we added to portfolios, ESPO, which is up 11 or 12% since it opened. That thematic aligned with, there's not many esports players on the Australian market. You know, there's a few, but one came on the back end of last year, PlaySide Studios, listed at 20 cents, now trading at 42. You know, so they're a game developer. Mm-hmm. Different side, but I'm saying this industry and sector, as fragmented as it is right now, is only going to become the forefront of investment minds and I think a lot of the industry. Okay,
it's interesting because China has begun building a $900 million facility that it hopes will be, you know, mecca for the esporting community. I guess the envy of esports is what they're talking about. Won't be completed until 2023, but my point in that is, are there ways here in Australia that you can gain access to, you know, that mass of money that's global? You know, and I know that you talked about the ESPO, the ETF. What other kind of Australian companies can you leverage that global story?
Yeah, look, I think Australia has been a little bit behind the curve in esports, but that doesn't say, and it won't take as long to catch up. So 70% of esports comes out of Asia. Okay, so China is the dominant player in that, hence why 50% of Tencent's revenue comes from gaming. So there's a huge amount.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of money being thrown there. So that's why Tencent is in the esports ETF, because 50% of the revenue has to come from gaming. So you think about how big of a player Tencent is, throwing a huge amount of money in that. You know, you look at Amazon, what they're throwing in, you know, to a lot of different channels. So to answer your question, how do we capitalize on? And that is the question, I think, in this sector, which is projected to be a $200 billion industry by 2023. How do you monetize it? You know, people have bought teams, the production studios. Obviously, what we've spoken about on here is Picklebet, which is the wagering side. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm on calls regularly, not only because of my interest in Picklebet, but the thematic in the space. I think that it's going to be at the forefront of conversations this year, and through every channel, not just the wagering side, which is a small part, through the production studios. There was an article today in the AFR from Grace Watkins in Click Management, so that they run. There's these gamers out there in the world who have tens of millions of followers.
Click Management is talent, isn't it?
Talent, exactly. So what they've done is Elliot, which is the son of Grace, essentially was one of the top gamers around the world. So there was a need to have, like, sports management, mm-hmm. you know, for LeBron James, so talent management. So it's a really interesting niche. And I talk to Grace regularly, and she's a very exciting and entrepreneur woman. And you know, I think what they do is exciting. And we talk closely, which may play out through the course.
Yeah, right. Picklebet then. So Picklebet is the one that you've flagged here before. You're standing by it in 2021. It's a licensed operator. What could a catalyst be for the next phase of a Picklebet?
So Picklebet closed, and the CEO Nick Heaney came on the show, Startup Daily on ausbiz, and spoke about the raise when we started at the end of last year. We wanted to raise $4 million to launch our international, because we got obviously issued a license for international wagering, which we went into New Zealand, Canada, Asia, and that's just starting. So that raise was done with ease, and you can just imagine, like, how many people. We need to be strategic on people we want involved in that sort of thing. So saying that too, this space is moving very, very quick, and we've got a pretty clear listing, a pretty clear vision on listing by the end of 2021. And with that, there'll be obviously a larger, you know, pre-IPO round, which more details to follow. Haven't seen anything.
He's going to keep us. Yeah, he's going to keep us standing by. But I hope, Clayton, you can come back.
Sure.
and tell us all about it when you can. All right. Short but sweet today. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Clayton Larcombe joining us from PAC Capital.